Hello, everyone. Just wanted to talk about the Tal'Dorei Reborn book that came out about a week ago. A little bit late doing it on it, but I just want to do like a first glance, first thoughts on it from the brief that I've like skimmed through it and looked through it. First of all, absolutely great book. I think it's definitely worth it, even if you weren't a Critical Role fan. Has a lot of good stuff for DMs and players and interesting information and everything like that. Just some quick things to go over that I saw that really stuck out to me that I thought were really interesting is, first of all, Matt and the co-writers Hannah Rose and James Hayek, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, they absolutely just packed us to the brim full of information on every village and everything you would want to know about Tal'Dorei. And they did this, I don't know if these two worked on the Wildemount book as well, but the Wildemount book they put out with Wizards of the Coast was absolutely packed with information on every town and city, had quest ideas and information, very useful to DMs and players. And it's amazing how much they put into that one book. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the Tal'Dorei book. I'm not as familiar with Tal'Dorei. I had not watched Campaign 1. But yeah, some things I wrote down of interest. First of all, there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the book that is great. I think every D&D book should do this. It says that, when you run a game of Tal'Dorei, it's not Matt's world, it's not the Critical Role world. You shouldn't care about the lore of the world or sticking to, the canon of it. It is your world. Even if you were to sit down and play with Matt Mercer himself, that is your version of Tal'Dorei, your interpretation. I think this is great. I think every D&D book should say that. I feel a lot of people try to stick to canon no matter what. If it comes to like Eberron or Forgotten Realms, they feel like they have to adhere to the canon and everything that has gone on, and not try to make their own story. And I think it's important in D&D to make your own story, even if you are playing with a pre-established setting. I think that's just great. That's awesome that they say that. They explicitly say that, and make Tal'Dorei your own. Change things, move stuff around. I think that is awesome. Again, just the location details and the information packed in the book is ridiculous. They give you everything you would need to know about settings and about locations in Tal'Dorei and the governments and the various factions that make it up. Again, they did this in the Wildemount book, and it was awesome. Another great thing they added is they didn't add the option to do ancestry and mixed heritages where you separate the ancestry, picking your ancestry and then picking the culture you are from. They still have races in the book, but they said go ahead and do that if you wish, which is awesome. I think moving away from race is a very important thing in D&D to do, and it's just really kind of problematic, but that's a topic for another day. I think that's great that they shot that out as well. And the other thing, I haven't really looked at all the subclasses. The last thing I want to talk about is blood magic. Blood magic is super awesome. Matt has developed this a lot in Exandria. If you're familiar with the Blood Hunter subclass, that is really well done. Not an official class, but it should be. Hemocraft is really interesting, and they've added 2 blood magic subclasses to this. You have the blood magic tradition wizard, and you have the blood magic cleric domain. The blood domain for a cleric, which is really awesome. The rules are very, crunchy, very mechanically, which understandably for Matt, him being a, war gamer at heart, very crunchy, very numbery, the blood wizard. I might do a full in-depth review of those two, because that's both ones that stuck out to me, but very crunchy, very like sacrificing your own health for benefits. Really cool. The blood cleric had the thing where they had like blood trace. They could make a blood blonde with somebody, which I thought was really awesome. Besides that, that was just the stuff that stuck out to me. Oh, and the Oath of the Open Ocean, which was the one they made for Forward in Campaign 2. Really awesome. Haven't really looked at it, but just awesome that it's in there. But yeah, overall, I think it's a great book. The art is absolutely amazing. They did a great job on it. Just everything they've added is absolutely awesome. Even if you're a Critical fan, probably don't have to convince you to pick it up. But if you're on the fence or looking for a cool setting, I definitely recommend it, because it is, typical fantasy setting, but with a little bit of twist on it. And what Matt has done with the setting and kind of taking what's pre-established and putting his own twist on it is really cool. A lot of value and stuff to do in it and explore and, tell your own stories. Like it says, make your own stories of Exandria. Don't stick to the pre-existing canon of Critical Role, even though most people like that. And that is fun to stick to canon, but that constrains you. But I think it's great that they're saying just make your own stories, and this is a great book which you can do it on. So I might do a deep dive on the other stuff in it. Just kind of wanted this quick video about my first thoughts about it. I know it's late, but I thought I'd just do this as like a first video and see how it is. But yeah, it's awesome, and look forward to more in the future.